Maru Suhara, an ordinary high school student, becomes enchanted by the writings of his classmate, the famous and popular novelist Shirakusa Kachai. Despite their differences in status, Kachai shows an interest in Maru and decides to befriend him. As the school's confession festival approaches, Maru tells his friend, Kai Tetsuhiko, that he plans to confess his feelings to Kachai. But Kai dismisses the idea, insisting that Kachai is out of Maru's league and advising him to give up. Meanwhile, an assertive girl snatches Kachai's homework, triggering Kachai's intense anger. In a fit of rage, she tears up the notes, leaving Maru shocked by her unexpected outburst. Later, Maru sees Kachai crying alone in the library, but hesitates to comfort her. Maru and Kai then discuss Maru's romantic possibilities, especially his relationship with his childhood friend, Kuro Hashida. Their conversation is cut short when Kuroha suddenly appears, teasing Maru and making him flustered. Embarrassed, Maru tries to slip away, but Kuroha catches him. It's revealed that Maru rejected Kuroha's confession because he was in love with Kachai. Just then, Kachai announces that she already has a boyfriend, Abe Mitsuru, shocking everyone. Maru is heartbroken and leaves the classroom. Later, at the riverbank, Kuroha comes to comfort Maru, telling him that her feelings for him haven't changed and that she'll always be there for him. She suggests they get revenge on Kachai for playing with Maru's innocent heart. The thought of Kachai enjoying herself with Abe angers Maru, so he agrees to Kuroha's plan. At home, after watching an interview with Abe about his acting career, Maru becomes even more determined to get revenge. The next day, he meets with Kuroha, who suggests they pretend to be a couple, and though reluctant, Maru agrees. To his surprise, Kuroha starts flirting with him and even tries to kiss him, but Maru's thoughts drift back to Kachai, causing him to run away. Frustrated by his failure to find any dirt on Abe, Maru is suddenly confronted by Abe himself, who tells him that he remembers Maru as the genius child actor, leaving Maru bewildered. Maru learns a shocking truth. He's the son of an unsuccessful actress and a stuntman. Abe, the popular actor, confides in Maru that it was actually Maru who inspired him to become an actor. But now, Abe sees Maru as a rival. To make things worse, Abe reveals that the only reason he started dating Kachai was to make Maru jealous. He wanted to prove that he was better than Maru in every way. This revelation infuriates Maru, and Abe stokes the flames by announcing his plan to publicly confess to Kachai at the upcoming confession festival. Determined not to let Abe win, Maru tells Kai that he's going to act in the festival's play, which surprises Kai. Maru insists that they need to do something extraordinary and unique to outshine Abe. Kai suggests asking Kachai to write the script for their play. But before they can discuss it further, Kuroha interrupts. She boldly announces in front of everyone that she and Maru are officially dating, leaving the room in shock. Despite the awkward situation, Maru shyly asks Kachai if she would write a fantastic script for the play, and she agrees. They exchange phone numbers, and later that night, Kachai texts him to see if he's available for a call. Just as this happens, Kuroha visits Maru, and they chat casually about her sisters and her terrible cooking skills. During their conversation, Kuroha finds a picture of Maru playing with an old childhood friend named Shiro. Maru explains that Shiro was the son of a sponsor for a drama he was involved in, and they were close friends. Suddenly, Maru receives a call from Kachai to discuss the play, so he rushes to his bedroom. However, Kachai overhears Kuroha's voice in the background, becomes jealous, and tells Maru to meet her alone in the library the next day. Later, when Maru tells Kuroha about Kachai's call, Kuroha gets jealous too. The two of them start teasing and flirting with each other, but Maru eventually backs off, feeling embarrassed. The following day, during play rehearsal, Maru suddenly loses consciousness and later wakes up in the school nursery with Kachai by his side. She gives him the script and asks why he quit acting. To her surprise, Maru reveals the painful truth: his mother, a struggling actress, died in an accident on set, which traumatized him and forced him to step away from acting. Later on, Maru discovers that his childhood friend Shiro is actually Kachai. As a child, Kachai was antisocial, and her father introduced her to Maru in hopes that they would become friends. They did, and Maru promised to act in a play she wanted to create. However, Maru stopped visiting her, leaving Kachai feeling betrayed. Determined to make him regret abandoning her, Kachai decided to transform herself into the most successful and beautiful woman she could be. She believed that their childhood promise meant nothing to him. But after learning the true reason behind his absence, Kachai realized that Maru was still her first love. That night, Maru and Kuroha come up with a plan to sabotage Abe's performance and steal the spotlight. Kuroha suggests that Maru confess his feelings to Kachai to ruin Abe's planned confession. On the day of the confession festival, Maru is ready. As he heads to his classroom, he encounters Abe, and they exchange intimidating glares before Maru moves on. In the classroom, Maru finds Kuroha dressed in traditional Japanese clothes, fitting their theme. Then he spots a mysterious figure standing on the opposite side of the stairs. Maru immediately recognizes him as Shiro and apologizes for suddenly disappearing 6 years ago. He assures Shiro that he still remembers their promise. It's then that Shiro reveals his true identity. Shiro is actually Shirakusa Kachai, leaving Maru stunned. Kachai starts crying and confesses that she wanted to tell him earlier, but felt hurt and jealous seeing him with Kuroha. However, after learning the real reason he quit acting, she couldn't wait any longer to reveal the truth. As Kachai heads back, she confronts Kuroha, who overhears their entire conversation. The two girls declare each other rivals and part ways, ready for the challenges ahead. Later on, Maru and Kuroha take a long walk around the festival together. However, just before the final play, Kuroha suddenly slaps Maru and tells him that their fake relationship is over, and whatever happens during the confession, she'll be watching him closely. The play begins with Abe, who wows the audience with a song and an impressive dance performance during his confession. But then Maru takes the stage and delivers a stunning performance that leaves everyone cheering for him. Instead of confessing his love to Kachai as expected, Maru reveals his plans for revenge and admits that he did love her in the past. However, he then confesses his true feelings to Kuroha, acknowledging that she was always there for him. To his surprise, Kuroha happily rejects him, leaving Maru in shock. After the festival, Abe confides in Kai that Kachai wanted Maru to confess to her. But when he didn't, she lied about being in a relationship with Abe to provoke Maru's feelings and push him to confess during the festival. Abe also reveals that he willingly played the role of the bad guy because he's a huge fan of Maru and wanted to encourage him to return to acting. They both realize that Kuroha rejected Maru out of spite for being rejected herself, but later regretted it. In the end, they conclude that everyone lost in this game of love and revenge. The scene then shifts to a mysterious girl watching a video of Maru's performance on her phone, calling him her big brother. That night, Maru continues to feel humiliated by what happened at the festival, while Kuroha regrets turning him down. Meanwhile, Kachai still loves Maru and blames Kuroha for ruining her chance with him. The next day, while the three of them are still down, Kai informs Maru that his rejection video has gone viral on YouTube, making him a hot topic on major news channels. This revelation leads to a heated argument. Just then, Maria Mamasaka, a famous actress, suddenly arrives in the classroom and hugs Maru, shocking everyone. Kachai and Kuroha immediately become jealous and demand an explanation. Maru reveals that Mamasaka is his disciple and a childhood friend from his days at the agency. He taught her acting, communication, and social skills. Mamasaka, in turn, confesses that Maru is her first love and boldly declares that she'll make sure he forgets both Kachai and Kuroha, leaving them both furious. Later on, Kai apologizes to Maru for uploading his video without permission by treating him to pizza. Kai explains that his intention was to make Maru reconsider returning to acting. Just then, Kai's middle school friend, Asagi Rana, a jack of all trades, shows up and reveals that she's the one who brought the pizza. Maru's mischievous side comes out, but Rana quickly shuts him down, making it clear she doesn't offer any seductive services. Despite this, she starts teasing him. But their conversation is cut short when Kachai enters the room with her friend Mako. Kachai hesitantly asks Maru out on a date, but Mako intervenes and changes the topic. Just then, Kiroha shows up, but Maru, afraid to face her, hides behind Kachai. Sensing an opportunity, Kachai insults Kiroha, forcing her to leave the room. As she leaves, Maru notices the tears in her eyes. Later, during a phone call, Maru confesses to Kai that he was scared to confront Kiroha because he feels too clueless to understand her feelings. After ending the call, Kai asks Kiroha, who overheard everything, what her next move will be. At home, Maru is surprised to find Momosaka waiting for him. Puzzled by how she got inside, she explains that she borrowed the keys from Kiroha's mother. They chat about her career, and Momosaka reveals that she needed a good excuse to visit him. She also mentions that their old agency owner has retired, and the new boss, his son, wants to meet with Maru and Kiroha. Suddenly, Kiroha's sisters start knocking on the door, and Maru, flustered, quickly hides Momosaka before letting them in. The sisters inform Maru that Kiroha is acting strangely and has developed amnesia. During their conversation, Momosaka reappears, and Maru introduces her to the sisters. He starts with Midori, the second sister, then Ai, the third, and finally Akane, the youngest. It's revealed that, along with Kiroha, they're known as the Colorful Sisters. Momosaka begins playfully teasing Maru to provoke the sisters. After she leaves, Maru and the sisters discuss Kiroha's condition. Maru can't resist teasing Midori for being a bit of a tomboy. But before leaving, Akane advises him to make every decision with a positive mindset. Touched by her words, Maru grabs her hands in excitement, leaving her flustered. The next day, Maru hesitantly approaches Kiroha, and they agree to start fresh in their relationship. Just then, Kachai arrives to pick up Maru, but instead of leaving Kiroha behind, Maru invites her to join them. During their walk, Kachai tells Maru that she suspects Kiroha hasn't really lost her memory, so Maru decides to test it out later. At a private lunch with Kiroha, Maru feeds her an octopus wiener, something she normally can't eat. To his surprise, she eats it easily, confirming that she does indeed have amnesia. Afterward, Maru asks if they should visit the CEO of the talent agency, and Kiroha leaves the decision up to him. Maru becomes emotional, and Kiroha hugs him. But their tender moment is interrupted by an angry Kachai, who had been spying on them. Kachai expresses her desire to see Maru return to acting, but with differing opinions on the matter. Kai proposes an alternative idea. They could start a YouTube channel and upload videos with scripts written by Kachai. Maru agrees to the plan, but decides to visit the talent agency first to discuss the possibility of returning to acting. Everyone, including Momosaka, accompanies him to meet Shun, the new CEO of Hardy Pro. Shun offers Maru a $100 million contract, tempting him with thoughts of using the money for mischievous activities with Rana. However, Kiroha refuses, and Shun insults her parents. Enraged, Maru pours a bottle of wine over Shun's head. Tensions escalate as Shun lashes out, calling everyone scum. Kai, consumed by anger, nearly resorts to violence. But Maru quickly steps in to defuse the situation. Shun, still fuming, starts to call the police, but stops when an unexpected guest arrives: Suikaru, Kachai's father. His arrival disrupts the tense atmosphere, and he asks Maru to explain what happened. As the dust begins to settle, Momosaka proposes an unusual solution to resolve the conflict. She suggests a commercial contest between Hardy Pro and Kai's YouTube channel, Ultramarine. The stakes are high. If Shun wins, Maru must join Hardy Pro. If he loses, Maru and Kai are spared from any legal trouble. A digital battlefield is set, with commercials as the weapons of choice. Momosaku creates a platform where public opinion will decide the winner, turning the conflict into a contest of creativity. Maru, desperate to win, asks Momosaku to join his commercial, but she declines. Instead, she proposes to showcase her transformation over the past 6 years by participating in Shun's production. The next day, the Ultramarine team springs into action, working on their sports drink commercial. As they delve into the creative process, the layers of Momosaku's past begin to unravel. It's revealed that she and her sister, Eri, escaped from their abusive parents. Despite Eri's academic brilliance, she gave up her college dreams to support her sister. Maru's arrival in their lives had offered them a lifeline, a chance to break free from their painful past. He had nurtured her talents, building a connection that was abruptly severed in their shared past. After their bond faded, Momosaku felt lost. But the talent agency's offer introduced her to the mysterious world of entertainment, bringing her back into contact with Maru. As the Ultramarine Alliance's first commercial began to take shape, Momosaku noticed something was missing, a central element that could elevate their creation. Feeling an urge to improve their project, she reached out to Maru, encouraging him to step up their production. That night, the sisters were busy working on their second commercial, which featured Acid Snake's latest song. Maru's charismatic presence stole the show, and their collaboration led to victory in the commercial contest. But just as things seemed to be going well, surprising revelations started to emerge. Kai's meeting with Suikaru revealed a secret. Suikaru knew that Kai was Shun's son. Despite this, Suikaru pledged his support for Kai's YouTube channel, adding another layer of complexity to the story. As the plot thickened, Kai crossed paths with Abe and discovered that Kiroha was the mastermind behind the commercial contest. Her plan was to draw Maru closer and reduce the chances of him returning to the entertainment world. The next day brought new developments as Momosaku announced that she had enrolled at Maru's school. She openly declared her desire to deepen her connection with him, signaling a new phase in their relationship. In the midst of these unfolding events, Maru ran into Rana, who questioned him about his relationship with Kai. Maru reassured her of the strength of their bond, emphasizing the loyalty that had been a constant throughout their shared history. As the story reached its peak, Maru found himself face to face with Kiroha once more. In a moment of truth, it was revealed that her amnesia had been a lie all along. Maru was shocked by the revelation and demanded to know why Kiroha had deceived him, but she refused to answer. Overwhelmed by his emotions, Maru lashed out, calling her Black Heart, a declaration that marked the start of their open conflict. Later, when Maru returned home, he was consumed with regret for his harsh words and feared how Kiroha might retaliate. He struggled internally, trying to understand the sincerity of her feelings. Kiroha, too, was unsettled by the situation and decided to bring in a mediator, worried that other forces might exploit the tension between them. Meanwhile, Kachai formed an uneasy alliance with Kai. When Momosaku was introduced as a new member of the Ultramarine Alliance, the club welcomed her with joy. Kai explained the alliance's rules and proposed a new project, a beach outing for the upcoming long weekend. Though Kachai initially opposed the idea, it was eventually approved, setting the stage for the next chapter in their intertwined lives. When it was suggested that Kiroha's sister could join them on the second day of the beach trip, Kiroha and Momosaku grew suspicious. They believed that Kachai might be behind the project, and their doubts created tension. This mistrust led to an argument between Maru and Kiroha, with Maru unexpectedly siding with Kachai instead of Kiroha. When AI returned home, she noticed the tension between Maru and Kiroha as she took over her sister's chores. AI began to investigate the reasons behind their quarrel, likely sparked by Kiroha's request. Recognizing Kiroha's mistake, AI advised Maru to reconcile with Kiroha before anything inappropriate could happen. At the beach, Kai recalled a previous conversation with Suikaru. where they discussed that Rina might be his half-sister. Kachai thanked Kai for his help, but he suggested that it might be better if Maru avoided romantic relationships with the girls, believing that Momosake's behavior would ultimately determine the outcome of the trip. Maru, taking advantage of different modes of transportation, began to keep a close eye on Kachai's behavior. This led to a fight with Kiroha, who was growing increasingly jealous. Seeing this, Momosaku, who was envious herself, challenged Kachai to a cooking competition. Despite Kachai's preference for chicken, they agreed to compete by making local hot pot specialties. On their way to Okinawa, Momosaku and Rina got to know each other better while dining at a restaurant. They overheard a conversation between Maru and Kai, where Kai suggested that Maru form a harem to avoid making anyone sad. Momosaku eventually concluded that she was the last person vying for Maru's affections. Determined to keep Maru and Kachai from getting too close, she decided to maintain a certain distance between them during the vacation. After arriving at Kachai's beach house, the group settled on room assignments and headed to the pool area to relax. Maru, being playful, suggested that everyone wear bikinis and take a collective shower, but Kai playfully yet firmly tossed him into the pool as a punishment. Meanwhile, Kiroha, feeling increasingly angry and jealous at the thought of Maru and Momosaku growing closer, discussed the upcoming vacation with Akane while going about her housekeeping duties. Back at the beach, everyone, including Rina, who had been convinced by Kai, was having a great time. The party came to a sudden halt when Maru received a phone call from Kachai, who asked him to see her in her bikini in private. They went to a secluded beach, where Kachai showed off her swimsuit. However, their intimate moment was abruptly interrupted by a jealous phone call from Momosaku. As they sat together, Kachai placed her hand on Maru's knee, and Momosaku, still feeling jealous, tried to keep the two apart. Observing everything from a distance, Kai and Rina notice Momosaku approaching Maru. In an inadvertent revelation, Momosaku unintentionally lets slip that she has patted her chest, much to Maru's surprise. Meanwhile, Maru and Rina spend their time studying at the beach house, while Kachai practices her dance routine. Impressed by her efforts, Maru offers to help Kachai, astonishing both Rina and Kai with his unexpected talent for dance, which surprises them given their previous impressions of him. Later that day, Maru finds Kachai feeling down by the coastline. At the same time, Momosaku is busy in the kitchen, her mood dampened by the sight of Kachai preparing Maru's favorite dish, chicken. However, Maru manages to lift her spirits, deepening their bond to the point where they almost share a kiss. But Maru, mindful of Ai's advice to be cautious during such trips, hesitates and pulls back. The next morning, Maru wakes up and meets Kiroha, who arrives at the beach house with her sisters. The Shida sisters are greeted by Kiroha's simmering discontent towards Maru, stemming from his earlier interactions. Midori tries to hold Kiroha back, while Ai offers her sympathies to Maru. Later, Kai gathers everyone for a meeting to outline the day's schedule, which includes time for essay writing, studying, and filming. As Maru and Kachai grow closer during the essay session, Kiroha decides to employ her unique tactics to win Maru's attention. When the group prepares for a day of beach fun, Kiroha catches Maru's eye with her bikini choice, but Midori taunts her, highlighting Kachai's perceived superiority, which ignites Kiroha's anger. Frustrated, Kiroha requests a private conversation with Maru. Despite their ongoing disagreement, Kiroha takes an unexpected approach during their talk, revealing a previously unseen, cruel side. She repeatedly confesses her feelings to Maru in a way that frustrates and angers him. During a study session, Kiroha hands Maru an unconventional test, persistently professing her love through repeated confessions. Maru, however, rises to the challenge with renewed determination and tackles the exercises with full vigor. After the study session, the group shifts their focus to planning for the upcoming video shoot. A proposal from Akane regarding the speaker prompts Maru to reach out to Kai. Taking on the role of facilitator, Maru arranges a conversation between Akane and Kai to help her overcome her shyness. During dinner, Maru notices that Kachai's feet are sore, likely from all the essay writing earlier. Midori steps in to help, applying a bandage to alleviate Kachai's discomfort. Late at night, while the others are asleep, Maru heads to the beach and observes Kachai receiving a call from Mako. Their conversation revolves around Kachai's dedication to the project and her determination to stay true to her feelings as they prepare for the upcoming video shoot. Meanwhile, AI notices Akane quietly observing the scene. AI confides in Akane about her own affection for Maru, leading to an emotional exchange where Akane admits she, too, has developed feelings for Maru. However, she decides to keep her emotions hidden, knowing that all her sisters seem to share similar sentiments. As the sun rises, the tension and complexities of their relationships continue to unfold. On a new day, Kiroha and Momosaka both keenly observe the growing closeness between Maru and Kachai amidst the filming of their scenes. As they shoot, Maru declares a shot to be perfect, but the balance is abruptly disrupted when Kachai slips while descending the stage. Maru rushes to her aid, inadvertently injuring his own arm in the process. This moment, blurring the lines between fiction and reality, resonates with a deeper connection between them. Back at school, Kai meticulously edits the footage from their trip. Abe makes an appearance, trying to glean details about what transpired. Kai's explanation sheds light on why Kachai was chosen for the lead role, a blend of Momosaka's concern for Kiroha and Maru's preference for a partner with a gentler demeanor. The narrative then shifts to Maru and Kiroha, hitching a ride with Kachai and her father. In this intimate setting, Maru reveals a significant development to Kiroha. Kachai will be moving in with him to help with his recovery. This news unsettles Kiroha, who immediately raises objections. However, Kachai's father remains resolute, and Kiroha reluctantly agrees to accompany Kachai as a caretaker during this critical time. Seeking solace, Maru retreats to the restroom, where his mind drifts into a playful daydream involving Kachai, filled with suggestive undertones. This mental tangent is abruptly interrupted by a summons from the female members of the group. As they gather, the conversation shifts to Maru's complex emotions. Desiring insight, he turns to Kai for guidance, only to receive an unexpected directive: to embrace the situation as it unfolds. To ensure propriety, the female members propose an overnight stay in the living room. However, the scene takes an unexpected twist with the arrival of Kiroha's sisters, who display an unconventional fondness for Maru. Kiroha herself joins in the playful atmosphere, teasingly joking about her own affections. Yet, as night falls, both Kiroha and Momosaka are called away, leaving Maru alone in a void. In their absence, Kachai steps forward as an unexpected confidante. She dispels any romantic notions Maru might harbor, clarifying that while she holds him in high regard, her feelings remain firmly platonic. Shun reveals an emerging dynamic, a friendly rivalry between herself and Maru for Kachai's attention. As school life resumes, Momosaka's presence stirs curiosity among Maru's male peers, who can't help but notice the rapport that has developed between the two. During lunch, envy bubbles to the surface as they scrutinize the connection, sparking a subtle undercurrent of commotion. Meanwhile, Kachai extends an invitation to Maru to share a meal, further fueling the intrigue and jealousy of those around them. Shun's words echo in Maru's mind, casting a shadow over his recent encounter. As he departs politely, internal conflict wrestles with external interactions, and the layers of his emotions weave into the complex tapestry of his relationships. A rooftop encounter with Kiroha becomes a pivotal moment, offering a chance to mend their frayed friendship. Light-hearted teasing and playful exchanges revive their camaraderie, bringing them closer together. Just as their bond seems to solidify, a call from Kai interrupts the moment. Kai proposes an intriguing idea: a documentary chronicling Maru's departure from the entertainment industry, a venture that promises attention from television networks. United by this compelling prospect, The club members rally around the idea, aiming to capture the authentic conclusion of Maru's final acting role. The path forward becomes clear, solidifying their collective purpose and invigorating their shared commitment. As the credits roll on their recent project, the girls have a crucial discussion, realizing the need for boundaries within their intricate relationships. The conversation reveals a nuanced disagreement between Kachai and Mamasaka. Seeking harmony, Kachai proposes a compromise, a middle ground both can agree on. With the boundaries established, they agree on specific concessions. Mamasaka will cease causing disturbances, while Kiroha will temper her overt proclamations of affection for Maru. The plan takes shape as the girls pledge to take turns watching over Maru, ensuring their presence remains constant in his life. Mamasaka's input sparks a surge of creativity, and her documentary idea ignites a competitive spirit within the group. Energized by the potential of the project, each girl decides to use her unique approach to get closer to Maru. As Maru encounters Shin's whimsical graffiti on his cast, his world is shaken by playful antics. The mood is disrupted when Kiroha intervenes, quelling the mischief with a stern reprimand. Amidst this dynamic, a comical undercurrent underscores their evolving relationships. Their morning routine takes an unexpected turn when they stumble upon a tabloid exposing Maru's retirement. The gravity of the situation prompts an emergency assembly of the Ultramarine Alliance. The truth emerges. Shun is the author of the gossip piece, his vendetta against Maru woven into the fabric of his words. Kai unveils a counter-strategy centered around the documentary proposal that Shun has already presented to a streaming platform. Maru's agreement becomes pivotal, leading the team to craft a documentary chronicling the genuine conclusion of his acting career. Their collective drive turns into a powerful tool for rewriting the narrative spun by Shun. Mamasaka emerges as the strategist, proposing interviews at significant locations from Maru's past. During one such exchange, a poignant memory resurfaces between Maru and Kachai, a shared intention to visit Tokyo Tower. Their conversation grows emotionally intense, almost culminating in a kiss, only to be interrupted by the realization that they are being recorded. Undeterred, they commit to their plan to ascend Tokyo Tower, mirroring their shared journey. Returning home, Kachai is brimming with enthusiasm, her energy guiding her steps to the kitchen. Meanwhile, Maru takes the opportunity to share images of Kachai with Shin, playfully trying to curry favor. Shin's wits are put to the test, but her attempts to outmaneuver Maru fail, leaving her with a private satisfaction beneath her facade. The following dawn brings a light-hearted scene as Kachai embarks on a mission to rouse Maru from slumber. What seems to be an intimate moment turns comedic with Mamasaka's intervention, curtailing any potential romantic atmosphere. Joined by Mamasaka, the trio's joviality and laughter fill the scene, with Shin entering the fray. Kachai and Mamasaka's efforts to massage Maru's muscles draw Shin's attention, weaving a humorous tableau that reinforces their bonds. The narrative shifts to a poignant moment as Maru and Mamasaka engage in an interview reflecting on their past romance. The conversation leads to an unexpected revelation about Mamasaka's encounter with Maru's mother, a pivotal chapter in their story. This candid exchange exposes Mamasaka's desire to get closer to Maru and uncovers deep layers of emotion. Mamasaka becomes emotional and begins to cry as Maru shares his mother's story and how her loss has affected him. Overwhelmed by a sense of longing, Mamasaka finds solace in Maru's embrace. Maru also breaks down in tears, displaying his intense sadness and longing for his mother. In this tender embrace, marked by shared tears, a desire for an intimate kiss lingers. Mamasaka's ingenuity takes advantage of the cozy atmosphere, while Shin's watchful gaze adds a comical presence to the scene. Assuming the role of the love police, Kachai tries to persuade Maru with playful bribes of childhood images, but her efforts end in a humorous kick that shatters the plan. The next day at school, Kai remains firm in his belief that Shun is behind the media attention. He devises a retaliatory strategy involving the simultaneous release of the documentary and the conclusion of Child King, raising the stakes and preparing for a showdown against external forces. Maru and Kiroha then visit a cave, a relic from Maru's past that served as a haven after his mother's passing. Their conversation drifts through memories, reflecting on the days when Kiroha followed Maru to this secluded spot by the tranquil river. They discuss their recent clashes and misunderstandings, each sharing their perspective to foster a deeper understanding. Amidst apologies and reconciliation, Kiroha confesses her affection for Maru. But the confession is tinged with the realization that Maru still harbors feelings for Kachai. This confession is withdrawn, marking an acknowledgement of their complex emotional landscape. A new pact emerges from this revelation. Kiroha agrees to pose as Maru's secret childhood girlfriend, with their relationship remaining an illusion until Maru is ready to fully reciprocate. Abe then arrives at the entertainment club, seeking insight into Maru's current situation. Kai reveals that Maru's feelings for Kachai have faded, sparking discussions and a plan to revert to the old dynamic before the fashion festival. Kiroha shares a calculated confession with Kai, leveraging it to ensure his silence, which intrigues Abe. Laru, now fully recovered, decides to film the end of Child King along with a documentary, unveiling the climactic conclusion to the world. Kai surprises everyone with the news that he now has a fan club, reflecting the impact of his journey and the connections made along the way. As Maru's world expands, the narrative continues to evolve, with each interaction leaving a lasting impact. Among the female protagonists Kiroha, Kachai, and Mamasaka, the rivalry for Maru's affection gives way to a united front, as they decide to collectively support him. Their individual journeys converge, creating a stronger foundation marked by camaraderie and shared purpose. The captivating epilogue reveals the actual ending of Child King where Maru's character emerges from a coma surrounded by the three major female characters. That's all for today. If you enjoyed our video, give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.